All right, guys, welcome back to this snowy day. Today we got a really fun one. We're gonna take this engine block that was actually in a buddy of mine's car and turn it into a ring, so it should be a lot of fun. So to explain a little bit more about why we're doing this and why we have this is out of a buddy of mine. His name's Nate. This came out of a Lotus Elise. Nate decided to turbo it to the max. I don't know what sort of pressures he was pushing, but as you can see, if you look right here, the piston in cylinder 1 decided to just yeet itself right out of here. So now we have a blown engine block. You can see the damage that we did here on the cylinder head. This is all experimental. We're just gonna give this a shot. We are absolutely winging it. But what we've got here is our plasma cutter, and we're basically just gonna try to cut a chunk off of this and then melt it down in our little furnace and see if we can't make a ring blank out of it. Oh my goodness. This might take a while. Okay, so turns out plasma cutting is a little slower than I thought, probably because I have a cheap one. We're gonna come at this a little different. We're gonna try this spot. But I love doing things like this because this actually is teaching me how, if we're going to list this on our website for sale, then we're going to have to come up with another process of breaking this down because that is just too slow. There you go. I know there's going to be people in the comments being like, you're using it wrong. You're probably right. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's working now. We're so close. In fact, let's just go get a hammer. Oh yeah. Beautiful. There. Let's melt this up. Put this in here. Then we wait. Oh yeah, we're getting some meltage now. These are not welding gloves. Oh gosh. Now that we've got our little blank that we poured, we're going to go ahead and take this and put it onto the CNC machine, and we'll cut a hole out of it. Now that we have our aluminum blank, my idea is for this ring, what we want to do is take the aluminum and put a carbon sleeve, one of our homemade carbon sleeves, on the inside. And then I've got an idea for a pattern that we can do on the outside. The reason I want to do that is because aluminum tarnishes, and a lot of times it can turn your finger green, so you don't want to be in direct contact with the aluminum. So we're going to put the carbon fiber sleeve, which is hypoallergenic, on the inside, and that's going to be the actual part that's actually touching your finger. So that's how we're going to get around that problem. Let's give this a whirl. So basically we just want a little outer sleeve of this that we can then put the carbon into. Perfect. That's really hot. I didn't think it was that hot. So it's got this little lip right here. We're going to go ahead and sand that off so we have a nice clean cylinder all the way through it. Okay, so now that we have our little sleeve here, because we cut it on the CNC and we have the correct programs, I know that the inside diameter of this is exactly where we want it to be. So now what we're going to do is take our carbon sleeve that we make right here, and we're going to cut a little width of it, and then we're going to shave this down until it fits perfectly right on the inside of this one. So I've explained this before, but just in case, this blade actually can't cut you, so you're going to see my fingers get very close to it, but it's okay because you can actually touch this blade while it's running and it won't cut you. Okay, we're just going to shave down the outside of the carbon here using another diamond bit, just like this blade. And we have a diamond bit on the lathe as well. So another important thing with carbon is you'll see the dust coming off of it. Carbon dust is pretty bad. It's not great. So that's why we have our dust collecting system. And if you actually watch, you might be able to see the dust comes off right here and it shoots down and it actually gets sucked right into the hole. So that's how we avoid the carbon dust problem. This is basically just trial and error. I found is the best way to do this. You can measure, but even measuring sometimes just isn't as good as trial and error. Just taking a little bit off each pass until you get it just perfect. There we go. That's about what we want right there. This is the fast part. We're gonna quickly glue these two together and then put them together before the glue sets. Okay, here we go. Beautiful. Next step, now that we've got our carbon sleeve sealed on the inside there, we're gonna go ahead and face off each side until they're nice and flat. Okay, so now you can see it's nice and flat on both sides. So now what we're gonna do, my idea is, I'm gonna remove most of this aluminum. Then once we have kind of the rough dimensions that we want, we'll come back to here and we'll do some like crazy angles, some facets on here. That is cutting like crap. We're gonna go ahead and switch to get rid of that high-speed steel, and we're gonna go to this, I don't even know what they're called, carbide inserts, I think. Okay. So that's about the thickness that I want. Now what we're gonna do, let's put a little design, a little pattern in on this. Ooh, that is hot. Okay, last step here. So this is just a series of basically different angled cuts. See how it puts those different angles on there? We're gonna do a bunch of them. I think the trickiest thing with this part is holding the ring like extra steady and at the same angle so that it more or less makes a flat spot instead of you know, like a rounded or a curved surface. And I think we're good. Now hopefully you can see it kind of catches the light on each one of those faces. Just kind of cool. Last thing we got to do is just sand out the inside, put a comfort fit so it's comfortable when it's on your finger, and I think we got a winner. Okay, we're just gonna use our little, again, diamond. Diamond works great on carbon. Put that comfort fit on the carbon sleeve. And then we're going to sand out the inside of the carbon sleeve just to make it all uniform. Sometimes these facets, it looks like they're a little bit sharp on the edge. So I actually want to throw this back on the lathe, hit the outside of it real quick. I don't want to hit those facets, I just want to hit the edge and the top so that they're not quite so sharp. There you go. I think we got a winner. Okay, let's laser it. Okay, that is how you go from an engine block to a ring.